Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Mubarik Ali Khan. I hope you're enjoying good health. Respected listeners, I am with Mr. Zain Mohammed today. He's a doctor by profession and he has his plans to go abroad. He is preparing himself at Gateway Study Links. It's our first diagnostic assessment as we do once we start preparing a person for IELTS. So let's see how much does he score today and how much would he score once he would be leaving us. So how are you feeling, Zain?
I'm good. What about you, sir?
I'm good, thank you for asking. Mr. Zain, let me talk about the pattern or format of this particular test. This is going to be for next 11 to 14 minutes and there are supposed to be 3 different parts in that. In part 1, I would like to have 3 to 4 phrase answers. In part 2, I'll be giving you a cue card. You would prepare on that. You may make your notes if you want to for a minute and then you will speak on that for 2 minutes. In part 3, I would be asking some follow-up questions based upon part 2. And that's going to be again 5 to 6 phrases answers. I hope I made myself clear to you.
Yes.
Okay, so officially starting it, my name is Mubarik Ali Khan and this test is conducted at Gateway Study Links IE8 branch. My examiner code is 74747 and I am starting that with you and I'm starting with the recorder. Okay?
Yes.
Sir, please introduce yourself to me.
My name is Mirza Zain Mohammed Beg. I hail from a small town near the capital Islamabad called Murray.
Okay.
I've done my basic education from Murray and my matriculation as well. And for my higher education, I came to Islamabad, and then from there I went to Ahmedabad for my medical education. I had done my bachelor's of dental surgery from Ahmedabad Frontier Medical College. And after that, I've been staying in Islamabad for the past 1.5 years, doing my house job and residency at Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences.
Great, great. So may I know why you're taking IELTS?
I've opted for IELTS for the partial fulfillment of my visa requirements, and that's about it.
All right, great. So I could see that you have 4 particular alphabets or rather words in your name. So what should I call you during the interview?
You can call me Zan. I'm very much comfortable.
Okay, Mr. Zan. So Zan, can you talk about your neighborhood? What do you see around your neighborhood in your hometown perhaps or maybe here?
Well, here I'm in a hostel in a government university. It is quite nice, it's pristine, it's quiet, and when it comes to Murray, it's a hill station. Because it's a popular tourist destination, it's quite polluted now. But as far as I recall, when I was young, it was a beautiful place, always green. It was cold, but it was very much enjoyable. It was a pristine environment.
All right, okay. So if you're given a chance to eliminate one of the problems from your city or countryside you mentioned, what would you like to eliminate from there?
The pollution, the influx of tourists which do not care about the surroundings because they don't understand that people who live over here and it's our home, and we feel very much affected by what the actions of the tourists, because they just stay here for a day or two and then they leave, leaving behind stuff and dirtying the roads and everything, throwing garbage on the mountains and near the trees. It just becomes very much heartbreaking for us to see.
Right, okay, point taken. Now I'm starting your test with part 1. So what seasons do you have in your country?
We have 4 seasons in our country. Summers, winters, autumn and spring, all 4 seasons.
Okay, so which is your favorite season and why?
I would say spring, because I love to see the trees, the fresh leaves on the trees and the flowers blooming.
All right, so what do you like to do in this season you mentioned you like?
Oh, I love going out. I love outdoor activities because it's not that cold and the days are becoming longer, so you have more light time.
All right.
Outdoor activities, yeah.
Okay, very nice. So is your country popular with tourists in every season?
Well, generally my country is not very much popular with tourists because of the past few years and the unfortunate events that took place in my country. But as time is passing, I see international interest in my country, and especially in the northern areas.
All right, point taken. Thank you very much. Moving on towards part 2. Now you have a minute to please prepare on it and then you can talk on that once you're done. Here you go. And your timer has just been started.
I don't want to sound cliche, but the only equipment that makes sense to me is my mobile phone.
Oh, anything you would like to highlight? We have time to think.
I would be needing help with this. I cannot think of anything.
God help those who help themselves, you
Themselves.
see. Okay, now you have 2 minutes and you may talk about the equipment you mentioned already, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, the equipment that I feel like is very important to me and I use it in my daily life is my laptop.
Okay.
I've just bought it about a year ago.
Mhm.
It's a ThinkBook. It's a Lenovo ThinkBook, and well, it's not of a very latest model or anything. But as I have my studies and I have my notes and everything. It's all in my laptop, and I use it most of the time going through the paperwork and the journals and the books that I have downloaded through the internet. So it's very convenient for me, and it's just in reach for me with the touch of a button. And I use it. I take it to where I work. I take it to where I study, and it's all very convenient for me. And so that's about it.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Moving on towards part 3 now. So, let bygone be bygone. Let's
Yes.
move on.
Let's
So,
move on.
what are the most popular electronic devices in your country at the moment?
Mobile phones, laptops. I think so when it comes with information, televisions and stuff like that, which people use on a daily.
Okay.
Along with that,
Mhm.
well, electric cars are coming in.
Of course.
That's one of them.
Yeah, fine. So, which sort of devices do you think will become popular in the future?
Well, everything is being the industries are being revolutionized by robots and electrical stuff. So I guess electrical cars and our industry will be in future will be running through artificial intelligence and different technologies. So they are technically devices at the end of the day. And I think so. It's about it.
Okay, so how can people find reliable information on the internet?
Through reliable information on the internet, it's a norm that whatever you read on the internet is not true. But what I believe is the total opposite. I think so. You can find once you get into it, you can find many topics and many information. Where you can compare those informations, and then there are forums on which you can ask whether it is true or not. Through people who have studied that, who are into that. So there are many ways through which relevant information can be found.
Okay. Do you think the internet is safe for children to use unsupervised?
Till a certain age, of course, internet is very harmful for children because you cannot monitor whatever they're seeing and whatever they're watching. And through different applications, stuff like that, there's a way of advertisement, things which are not, well, which are very bad for children, and they're for children can come up on the screen. You can't stop that. So that's why parental guidance and monitoring is required till a certain age, I believe.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. This is the end of your spoken test. Yeah, how was it?
It was nice. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything because honestly, I'm not a device person. I'm not
Okay.
into that. I'm an outgoing person. I'm into animals. I like animals. I wanted to become a veterinarian instead of a dentist.
Okay.
But I became a dentist because of my father. He said, okay,
Alright.
pets don't have a very good future in this country. So I'm not into technology or anything like that.
Oh, anyhow, when talking about being a vet or something, there are some technological devices now used for the animals, so you could have talked about one of those.
Wow, but that would have been very much out of the way, and I feel like
Oh,
I didn't
anything which you could
did not want to
recollect
mess
or
that up.
connect, that is
I'm
fine.
really sorry.
Anyhow, well, that's a separate story. Since
Really
it was the
sorry.
first time, so I believe it's all okay. Allow me to draw a graph of your talk. If I start from the bottom here, so I found you going quite up in part 1, and that was the best one. And then you started tempering in part 2, and then you stopped somewhere here. And then in 3, you were straight, and then you were regaining your power, and the test ended. So to make it again, starting from here, going down, plummeting here, and then you were trying to regain it, and then it stopped. Okay. The positive thing about you, which I found, and which is very good in you, that is your fluency. You're quite fluent in your language, and that's the best part you have, and that is also required. Again, out of blue, you throw out some words which are not commonly used, and you have some that I would say some irregular or uncommon adjectives, which is the best part as well. For example, you mentioned pristine or such kind of words. Cliche. These words are not normally used, to be honest with you. So it's your regular style of speaking, so that you may not be aware of it, but that was the best part I found as well. There is a certain level of formality in your IELTS, which I found quite less opted in this. For example, you use the word stuff for almost 5-6 times, which is basically an informal word.
It's an informal.
Okay, so you either go to semi-formal or formal. You not go to informal words. Okay. Other than that, part one went well. I was very happy with that. In part two, the good thing or the bad thing about you is either you know or you don't know. You are not gray. You are black or white. As simple as that. Okay, as the table says, black and white. So that's positive as well as negative. Okay, and I found it quite conversational style of speaking. You were not trying to convince or try to impress the examiner. You were just going easily as you go. It's positive, but you have to sprinkle out a few of the terms and technologies, or maybe some high vocabulary items, so that you convince, or maybe you let the person check the vocabulary box that he has good lexical resource. So that was also kind of it. In part 3, question 2 and question 3, there was a big silence in the beginning, and then you started speaking. I guess I would recommend you to replace that with some kind of some time stalling devices, maybe some connectors, well, as far as I am concerned, or such kind of thing, so that you keep speaking and you don't.
So it won't be
lose the matter.
straightforward.
Yeah, you just have to keep connecting it, and I guess it would help you preparing better next. Then, okay, if I look at my notes again, I think overall, if part 2 could have gone well, you could have got a band 6 or 6.5. Because of part 2, it would be compromised.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But it's okay for now. I guess it's good for a start. I'm very happy, and let's see how we can help each other in the coming days. You have anything to say?
No, sir, I'm quite satisfied.
Alright, Ji. Thank you very much, and thank you very much all of you for watching us too. And if you have anything to say about this test, you're most welcome. We would be happy to listen to your feedback. Rather, Zen would be more happy getting some feedback, maybe it negative or positive, so that he could take care of himself later. And most importantly, whenever we upload a video, it's useful, so watch that. Thank you very much.